It was raining that night. The kind of rain that feels like the sky is trying to wash something away. In the center of the city stood an old building, crumbling, silent, except for one window. They called it the Hollow, a place where the lights flicker and whispers follow you down the hallway. But that window, it didn't belong to any room. I checked the blueprints over and over, and there was nothing. No room, no door. But the neighbors, they warned me. Don't look at it after midnight. They say the last man who moved in called the police on his first night. When they arrived, there was nothing left. No bags, no clothes, just a single chair facing the wall. But the call was still recorded. You can hear his voice trembling. They're here! And then footsteps, slow, deliberate, getting closer. Some people say they've seen movement in that window. Not quick, not human. Something that lingers. Something that remembers if you look back at it. I didn't believe any of it. Ghost stories are for children, right? But one night, I stood in front of that building. The hallway was colder than the street outside. My breath hung in the air. There were scratches deep along the walls, as if something had been dragged for years. And then I saw it. A door with no number, no lock, no handle. Just wood, worn smooth, like too many hands had touched it. I leaned closer. Silence. Then a whisper. Too faint to understand, but it was right there on the other side. And then the knock. Once, twice. Nothing. I reached out, my fingertips brushing the wood. It was warm, warmer than it should be. Old wood doesn't hold heat unless something is on the other side. I leaned in, pressed my ear against it. At first, nothing. Then, a sound. Wet. Like something dragging itself across the floor. And then, the breathing. Slow, heavy, like it had been waiting for me. I stumbled back, my heart pounding in my throat. But the sound, it followed me, through the wood, through the air. It knows when you hear it, and once you do, you've already let it in. I ran for the stairs, but halfway down, I froze. The lights went out, all of them. In the darkness, I could see it. Not with my eyes, but in my mind, bent, twisted, its limbs too long, its head turned the wrong way, and it smiled, not with teeth, but with the sound, a whisper curling into my ear. Stay.
I turned, ran into the street, but the rain, it wasn't cold anymore. It was warm, like blood. Every window I passed was dark. Every street light gone. Only shadows leaning in to watch. It doesn't live in that building. It is the building. And once you've touched the door, it can follow you anywhere. I made it home, locked every door, sat in the middle of the room, lights on, trying to forget. But in the silence, I could hear it. In the walls, in the floorboards. Breathing. I grabbed my phone, dialed emergency, but the call never connected. Only static. Static is the sound it makes when it wants to speak. Through the hiss, I heard the knock. 1, 2, 3. At my bedroom door. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. But the handle started to turn. And a voice, lower than a whisper. You opened it. Now I'm inside.
If you enjoyed this story, your like and comment help it reach more people, and it really means a lot to me. Share it with a friend who loves a good scare, and don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss the next one. Your support is what keeps this channel alive and motivation me.